Okay, NFL.com put out their list of biggest remaining offseason priorities questions for each AFC team.
Okay.
And Kevin Prata, I believe is how you say, or
Kevin Patra.
Patra. Can't read today either. He put his as...
It's so dark outside, it's hard to see.
I know, it looks a little bit better outside right now, thankfully.
Sean's giving us updates by looking out the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's not pitch black anymore. That's at least.
Not
positive.
pitch black, and looking outside the window, looking at the trees. Doesn't look that windy, Paul. Your patio furniture might make it.
And Center Point Energy is only saying 300,000 people are currently without power.
Okay.
So, lower number than last week, for sure. So this is what Kevin put as his top priority for the Houston Texans. It was figure out if Blake Fisher can handle starting right tackle duties.
Man, they're really trying to make this happen. And you go to some of the draft grades that they have for the Texans, a lot of them seem to believe that the Blake Fisher pick is either a pick they didn't need to make because of the offensive line depth that they have, or it's a pick that they are making because they're going to move Tytus Howard to where he should play, which is guard. No one who has watched the Texans believes that Tytus Howard should play guard. Tytus Howard clearly does not believe he should play guard. So it's interesting to see it. And look, this is something that you got to remember when people are doing big picture pieces, whether it has to do with draft grades or offseason questions about every single one of the 32 teams in the league. There are going to be some that they are still talking out of their butt about. Mm-hmm. And I think for a lot of people, this is going to be the first year where there's an expectation for everybody to be closer to informed on the level we all are about this team.
Yeah, it's... Unless there's something we're missing. I don't know.
Kevin Patra is not seeing something that we cannot.
It's just one of those things that everyone keeps saying it over and over and over again. I'm like, and I'm with you. Like, you look at Tytus Howard's account. You look at his... If you like Pro Football Focus, not even my favorite website. I think they do good work, but I don't think they do as much work as they claim they do. But if you look at Tytus Howard's grades through their website, he is a terrible left guard. And he is a above average right tackle. Like, there is no indication through any metric, through those numbers, through your eyeballs, through what Tytus wants, what Nick Caserio has talked about, that he is a left guard. So I find it odd that that's so often the focus of this group, that is Tytus going to play left guard. Honestly, Paul, I think it's more likely that Tytus Howard's not on the team than he is your starting left guard week one. They're like, I think there's a better chance that they would say, we regret this contract. We like Blake Fisher more. We're just going to make him the right tackle. And I think that's a very, very low percentage chance. But I don't think Tytus Howard is going to be your left guard next year unless the offensive line utterly collapses on itself again.
You drafted Fisher to be a swing tackle in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And if injuries happen, you might play him. And if you've been paying attention to Nick Caserio's of the belief that you need to have 3 to 4 tackles. You need to have that because stuff happens like last year where you were without guys for significant amounts of time, specifically Tytus Howard. But you had to put George Fran in there. He did a really good job, I thought. I think Tunsil missed a couple of games as well. Mm-hmm. So when you find yourself in a spot where you are lacking at that position, you can see what happened in really the preseason where Stroud was getting smoked back there because the tackles that were out there were like Charlie Heck, who was playing center, not Charlie Heck, Michael Dieter, who was playing center at the end of the year. Like that's a terrible spot to be put in. Hey, bro, go play tackle.
I forgot about that. It's just to me, like, yes, there are questions about the offensive line. Who is the left guard? Is that your top priority this offseason? To me, I think it's so easy. It's who's your other corner besides Stingley?
Yeah, it's definitely number two corner. Number two corner, there's no answer there. And I did a little post about this last week. There's some people that are going at and looking at quotes out of OTAs. I saw someone put up this clickbait BS about how the Texans coaching staff is blown away by what they saw from CJ Henderson and Jeffrey Okudah. And I wanted to shoot myself in the head when I saw that this person had like 5 times as many views as me. And people are like, thanks for talking about my Texans, man. And I'm saying, I'm looking at it I read the actual quote where D'Amico Ryan said, like, yeah, they've been on 3 teams in 5 years. They have a lot of great athletic traits. And the thumbnail for this video on YouTube says, huge deal. That Texans coaches said that their players that they signed this offseason that were top 10 picks but are on their 3rd team in 4 years. To say that they're blown away because they're athletic. Well, I'd hope they're athletic. They were top 10 picks.
Yeah.
And so that stuff is put out there right now, and that position is definitely not filled. I mean, Kamari Lassiter was getting some opportunities, I guess, in the one OTA practice that people were able to go to, and there will be another one this week. And I'm sure people will have all sorts of over-the-top overreactions to what goes on there, but it's interesting that Kamari's competing.
Camp. I can't wait for training camp. Every single time they put out a new offensive line, and everyone freaks out about who's at left guard.
Again, this
whether it's Kenyon Green.
Just get off Twitter like me.
Or Juice Scruggs.
Just post your content to Twitter and then...
No, take pictures of every lineup that you see as the offensive line.
Yeah, dude, there's going to be like a whole YouTube series on
throw
this.
Throw a thinking emoji in there. Blake Fisher at left tackle? No Laramie Tunsil?
Blake Fisher center? Blake Fisher right guard? Blake Fisher every position? Yeah, it's just a weekly series for the...
Tytus Howard tight end?
Huh? Ooh.
He ran a 40 at one point.
Didn't say what he ran in that 40.
I don't know if he ran a fast one.
Titus Howard 40 time. Over under 5.5. 5.6. Let's go 5.6. Titus Howard.
I'm going to say under.
I'm going to go, he doesn't look that quick to me. I've seen him pulling from left guard. I'm going to go over.
He doesn't look that quick to you.
He doesn't. That's why he's a terrible guard. He can't pull. He can't block anyone. Like, I don't know anything about offensive line. What I can tell is that when they pull him at left guard to go block someone, he doesn't get there in time.
That's different than a 40-yard dash.
Quick feet.
Joe thought it was over 5.5. I think it's under 5.5.
Paul's right. He ran 5.05.
That's pretty good. That's as fast as me.
He ran a 5.05.
Here's Joe over here. Joe, who, I'm sorry, you do not look quick either.
I never said I was.
I will say that isn't...
I'm at least faster than Tytus Howard.
He's in the 87th percentile for...
That's pretty good. I'm assuming
Tytus Howard, tight end.
If you're drafted at Alabama State,
I think.
Yeah,
in the
State.
first round, you're probably athletic.
He's a big dude. It's so funny. His and that's what is literally if you go to his pin profile on his pin tweet.
It's his 40 time?
No, it's not that, but it's his draft profile.
Okay, it should
right
be
/ left tackle, handles speed easily, excellent versus Auburn.
If I ran a 405, that would be my pin tweet. Would be me running the 405
and his
505.
And his Twitter account, just for the record, still says right tackle only. For the
send that to NFL.com, buddy.
Yeah, Kevin Patra. Come on, bro.
They're all going to keep pushing it until he starts at right tackle every single game this season. That seems like the story that everyone wants to keep running with, that he is going to be a left guard, and they're all so wrong. He's not.
It's a lot of people that are pushing it, and it is a surprising amount. I mean, if you've invested that much money into your left tackle and your right tackle position, you probably want those guys, when they're all healthy, to play the positions you're paying them to play.
Yeah. It's a weird one.